Hey, Mr. Science, this is my invention. It's called the PalmKite. Take a piece of paper, fold it in half, and get a crease so you know where the center is. There it is. See the middle? Right there. Now we're going to take a corner and put it right on there, on that crease that we made, and line it up to make a little triangle. This is sort of how a paper airplane begins. A simple paper airplane begins just like that. Perfect little triangle, perfectly lined up. There it is. All right, we're going to put one on the other side. We call that symmetry. Symmetry is when things are the same on both sides. Well, it's not perfectly symmetrical. You'll see I'm a little bit off, but it'll still work. So now I'm going to make sure that crease is nice and sharp on both sides. I don't have any scissors because I don't need them. All I got to do is lick it 3 times. 1, 2. Notice I flip it over. 3. Hard to count while you're doing that, but the little bit of wetness on that corner on both sides and flopping it back and forth made it easy to rip. So I just took that piece and peeled it right off very carefully. If you got little kids, maybe they're not as good at aiming their spit, so get some scissors. So same on the other side, symmetrical, right? 1, 2, 3. Got it. There we go. Pull that off. Looks like a little house now, doesn't it? A little tiny house. So if this is the top of the house, let's call these sides over here the shoulders. There's a wall, there's another wall, and we'll call these sides the shoulders just so we know what to call it. So that's the top, those are the shoulders. What I'm going to do now is try to make a fold that goes to the bottom of my little house, that very center crease from the shoulder, so that it would go straight across here. That's trickier because I'm not lining it up with this. Not lining it up with that center crease at all. So it takes a little bit of thinking to get it just right. I'm pretty close. That'll do. That'll do. There we go. So you can see it didn't line up with the center that time, did it? No. So that's a very tricky one to get. But the easy part is that the other one fits nicely onto that. We just line it straight up over onto it so that its corner makes a perfect match to the other one. You can see how that lined up nicely, just like that. See? So, same thing. We're going to take these 2 folds and we're going to lick them off of there. 3 or 4 licks ought to do the job. 1. When we fold it, it tears, puts little tiny tears in the fibers of the paper. 2. There, I don't want to lose count. 3. And here comes a 4th one. 3 probably do. But I'm being extra careful because I want that to be very weak where I'm ripping it. There it is. Nice and easy. No scissors needed. Get rid of that. 1 more to go, as you can see. And maybe you can already see that diamond kite shape starting to appear, huh? Yeah, so let's go ahead and make sure that's a good tight crease. 1. Ooh, too much spit on that one. Don't want to wet the whole thing down. 2. There we go. 3. 4. That ought to do it. Be very careful and whip that away. And there's my little diamond kite shape. Ready to make the last fold, which is across this way. Okay? So this gives it structure. You'll notice that it's not too floppy in this direction. It'll stay straight. But if I hold it on this corner, notice how it flops down. That's because this crease provides strength and structure to the shape. So we're going to give another one from shoulder to shoulder. Take the top of it down and stay lined up. And make that crease go right across the shoulders. Kind of missed, but it's close. I'm good. That's the sleepiest kite I ever saw. It's not too good. That's not what I need right there. Notice it's just falling right over. So we're going to straighten it back up, right? And we're going to take that original crease, the first one we made, the up and down crease, not the side to side, shoulder to shoulder one, the up and down crease, and we're going to strengthen it like this. Make it the dominant fold, the dominant structure of this piece of paper. And once we've done that, we can sort of unfold it a little bit, very gently, and make sure that it's comfortable to have a structure to it that will stay this way and stay this way. See, it didn't stay that way before, it'd flop over. But now it has strength from the fold we put in it. So these two creases have increased its strength. See what I did there? All right, how do you fly a PalmKite? That's a PalmKite right there. There's 3 ways. The first way is to balance it in your hand. That takes a lot of practice, but if you let it tell you where it wants to go, you can balance it even though it wants to fall out of your hand. That's level 1. Level 2 is a little trickier. Instead of holding it like this, you hold it like this, fingers up, pushing it into the air. Now the trick is to hold it up a little bit so the air pushes under it and makes it go up some. So if you have your hand in the back and you push it like that, it'll go up. And you can fly the PalmKite sideways. How far can you go? I went the length of my lab 7 times, which was, let's see, 30, and that was over 100 feet. So I've gone over 100 feet pushing this like that. That's very tricky. But don't forget, I said there's 3 levels. The 3rd level, once you learn to balance it in your hand and you learn to push it through the air, fingers up, then you can try level 3, balance it on your nose. That's how you fly a PalmKite. Have fun.